Each and every bank will be connected to the chain. Over the past 12 plus months, I've mentioned this numerous times. As a matter of fact, I have been stating this since 2023. I want to cover a lot of topics in this video, including the reality that, sure, all banks will eventually operate on a chain. As you may see, it may begin by just adding some components to their strategy. However, I believe that eventually practically everything will be connected, including mortgages, transactions, and payments. A bank's entire product line will be available on chain. Additionally, it has already begun with deposit tokens. We also have a lot to discuss. Let's begin by going back a little to July, when Ripple gave us a significant update on their intention to obtain a national bank charter from the OCC. Yes, banks are moving on chain, as I mentioned earlier. Every bank will be connected to the chain. But why is it necessary to bring this up again? Well, it's worth bringing up again because blockchain-based businesses are beginning to resemble banks, or at least are attempting to do so. If any of you are not following Telcoin, in Nebraska, Telcoin recently received approval for a national bank charter. That's a big one. Ripple is also applying for this, and we're waiting for any significant updates. Brad Garlinghouse recently provided an update at a significant event. This was the DC FinTech Week FinTech Forum 2025. Brad Garlinghouse from Zave Crypto provides us with a new update regarding the approval of Fed Master accounts and Ripple National Bank Trust. Conventional banks are anxious. They believe that cryptocurrency has an unfair advantage because Ripple has a Fed Master account. Brad, however, makes it apparent. There are no shortcuts available with a Fed Master account. It calls for stricter regulations which banks already adhere to. The New York Department of Financial Services regulations, which are the gold standard for compliance, are already being followed by Ripple. The reality is straightforward. Fairness is not a concern for banks. They fear that Ripple will advance more quickly and that blockchain will displace traditional finance. Take a look. In relation to banks, Ripple has submitted an application to become a national bank. Indeed. Could you just provide a quick summary? Any new developments in that procedure? How's it going over there? I'm not sure of the precise response. Look, I believe it depends on who you speak to. Seeing some of the more established institutions begin to advocate against such things has been a little disheartening. It's as though we need explicit regulations if we want greater stability. In fact, there is a benefit to having a Fed Master account. Do you wish to reduce the risk of stable coins? It's actually beneficial that both Circle and Ripple have Fed Master accounts, and subject to the same legal requirements as a bank. We're in. Great. That seems like what we're already doing. We believe that the New York Trust license under which Ripple debuted our stablecoin is the gold standard. Above and above what even others have done, because our primary goal is to support institutional money movement. And institutions won't cooperate with us unless we have put a strong emphasis on compliance first. Yeah, listen, these papers don't really contain any significant updates, but the key point we're examining here is that traditional finance is already changing. For example, large banks are now beginning to innovate. The statement that they must innovate or perish was the longest quotation prior to this point. The time has arrived for the established financial players to acknowledge their defeat. Big players like JP Morgan are speaking to us because they need to innovate. Instead of mimicking a VC-style ecosystem, cryptocurrency is evolving into a standard tradable macro asset class backed by institutional liquidity as opposed to retail speculation. This is a significant assertion. Scott Melker shared it, and it's true that as cryptocurrency develops, we're getting past the hype and conjecture stage. A far more developed, regulated, and utility-based market is emerging. And since we could sense the change once more, I believe it is crucial to concentrate on this right now. The shift was evident. The past 12 months have been crucial to the evolution of cryptocurrency. Additionally, back in October, Jamie Dimon stated that cryptocurrency is genuine. JP Morgan will leverage blockchain and stablecoin smart contracts to enable improved transactions. This video clip is undoubtedly familiar to you all. It's going to be played again. You were formerly dubious of cryptocurrency, and you remain so now. So far, I have avoided any harm. Crypto is real. You can move things if you have a JP Morgan deposit coin, blockchain, stablecoins, and smart contracts that are real. We'll all use it to help with improved customer service and transactions, you know. If someone has ever been dubious about cryptocurrency, you're... And hearing this from the CEO of JP Morgan is absurd since, as we can see, they have historically been quite anti-crypto throughout the years. They've always said things like, oh, cryptocurrency is a scam. This is crypto, and that is crypto. They have changed their stance now. By the way, JP Morgan delves even further into blockchain over here. Cryptos have posted more than us. The acceptance of cryptocurrencies has advanced thanks to JP Morgan. The bank launched JPM currency on the base network of Coinbase. Deposit tokens are digital claims on current bank cash, as opposed to stablecoins. It may carry interest, providing a fresh avenue for institutional investors to obtain blockchain funding. JP Morgan is fully committed to blockchain and cryptocurrency. Over 5.3 million shares of Bitcoin's ETF IBIT, valued at $343 million, were reportedly held by JP Morgan, a 64% increase over the last statement. What did I say in 2023 now, when we consider deposit tokens? Now, let's return to August 24th, 2023. How do I imagine the future? Each and every significant country will have its own currency. This currency will be CBCS. The reserve will be tokenized by each bank. They may even have a token of their own, such as JPM coin. Digital currencies will take over the globe. In due course, everything valuable will be tokenized. The main issue with the global financial system is that we are heading toward a world without a single body controlling the majority of the money. Decentralization is absolutely necessary on a worldwide basis. One excellent illustration of why we shouldn't have a reserve currency is the US dollar. Safety Cs are intriguing since they will do away with the need for a reserve currency, but they would absolutely require a decentralized bridge currency. The same is true for deposit tokens and even stable coins. A decentralized bridge currency is necessary for all of them. XRP or XLM could be the cause of this. The primary focus that we have observed in global publications from organizations such as the World Bank, the IMF, and others, they all brought up XRP, XLM, or even both. However, utility should be the primary priority here. The projects mentioned in these documents, which are often brought up, should also be the main focus. Among them is XRP. However, once more, all banks will tokenize their reserves. I firmly think so. For instance, Citi, Bank of America, and JPM, correct? It is already being done by JP Morgan. In addition, Alden Crypto sent this excellent comment from Brad Garthinghouse regarding JP Morgan. This post, which I believe is rather older, discusses JP Morgan coin and the reasons why it won't be able to resolve several global payments problems. I'm not sure what issue that resolves. Take a look. I hope this video was enjoyable to all of you. If so, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. If you would like more free stuff, you can follow me on Twitter and sign up for the free Discord description below. Having stated that, I want to thank everyone for watching. Goodbye.